Hi everyone, today I'm going to be reviewing the Mamiya Sekor 200mm f3.5 lens. An interesting lens made for old vintage medium format cameras that I've been shooting with on my Nikon Z6. Now it is an interesting lens that can take some really nice pictures. I found it a little bit tricky to use and we're going to talk about it just now. So we've moved indoors because it started raining, and we're going to talk about image quality. Now I found this lens is capable of capturing some quite striking images, but it's also a little bit inconsistent, and it's hard to really explain why. And I'm not sure I exactly understand what's going on with it, because sometimes I'll be able to nail focus, sometimes it'll just be soft, even when I've very carefully composed the picture and focused in using the zoom in the camera and everything, focus peaking, and I have the image stabilization turned on and everything, and it just won't come out quite sharp, and sometimes it will, and I can't really figure out why that is. Anyway, when it does work, when it does nail the shot, it's great. The out of focus areas look beautiful, and I really like the way this lens renders colors. It has a kind of a dreamy sort of look to it, I think. And yeah, it's kind of a fun lens to use, a very challenging lens to use, I would say. And yeah, it's just something to be aware of, that this lens is probably not going to be the best for like professional work, because you are going to miss shots. Some things that you think will turn out well just won't. And that's a creaky door because the goat just bumped it. We're going to continue this review outdoors because I think it stopped raining. So in terms of usability, there's a few main things to talk about. First is the long focus throw of the focus ring, and it's very nice and smooth and very satisfying to use. There's a movable tripod collar, which is a nice feature to have. And it's got a clicky aperture ring that goes from f3.5 to f22. It's also got a manual to auto switch, which I assume I believe that this was probably had a automatic aperture mode, so the camera could control the aperture inside of it. I'm not exactly sure about that, but I really don't know what that little thing is for. If you know what that does, tell me in the comments. And this is a M42 screw mount lens, which means that it screws in and out of its mount, which honestly is a little bit of a problem, because for some reason the way this Photo-C M42, the Nikon Z adapter works, it ends up all the focal range and the aperture dial end up being on the lower side here, which is a little bit inconvenient to use. Otherwise, it works really well with my Nikon Z6. And particularly because of the focus peaking, which helps with getting good focus, and the built-in in-body image stabilization, which makes it much more usable when shooting handheld. And overall, I say this is a very usable lens. Now, it's no secret that vintage lenses in general have really nice build quality, and they're usually really beautiful. But this Mamiya 200mm is just in a league of its own compared to Canon and Nikon lenses that I own from a similar era. it is just absolutely gorgeous. It's, you know, solid metal. I mean, seriously built to last and built to survive a lot of everything life has to throw at it. And it's just nice to use a lens that feels so good in the hand. It's really exceptional when it comes to how it looks and how it feels. So one thing I do want to talk about with this lens is how good it is for video work. It has pretty much no focus breathing, has that long focus throw and a very smooth focus ring, which makes it an excellent long telephoto for video creators. And yeah, that's actually more practical in a lot of ways for that than it is for still photography, because the sharpness issues that I've run into aren't nearly so apparent. So yeah, this is an excellent video lens. As for price, I paid about 20 bucks for this lens on eBay in near mint condition. So there's that. This is a very cheap lens. And really that makes it very easy to recommend, especially if you're doing video work. If you're doing, I wouldn't recommend it for professional photography work at all because of the issues with getting consistent sharpness that I've experienced. But for video work, that's not nearly so much of an issue. And as I've explained, it does really well as a long telephoto prime lens, and it's a very easy lens to recommend. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this review, and you might check out some of my other reviews. I've done a lot of lenses, including some more vintage lenses. I've got a review of the Nikon Z6, which I'm using with the lens. And yeah, thanks so much for watching, and I hope to see you all again next time. Bye.